Q106.7 weather.
Here's your KQNK forecast. Lots of sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 39. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 19 tonight. Partly cloudy skies. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 39. Low 30s Thursday, much warmer on Friday with highs in the upper 40s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Laura Lockwood. Right now, it's 9 degrees below zero.
Kansas Information Network News, I'm Jen Austin. The city of Andover is facing scrutiny after unveiling a new city logo.
The city of Andover spent about $30,000 on a new branding plan. The city's new logo was unveiled on social media on Monday, but then dozens of people immediately complained about the cost of the effort. City Administrator Jennifer McCausland said the previous town logo had been in place for more than 3 decades. I'm Jared Sorello.
The Panasonic EV battery plant in DeSoto has been under construction for 2 years, with more than 3,800 construction workers on site. Around $250 million worth of infrastructure upgrades are coming along with that, including new roads and sewer lines. The plant plans to hire 4,000 workers when it's at full capacity, and about 10% of them are at work now going through the training process. Panasonic is hiring for hundreds of positions right now, and you can apply online. The new plant is coming to DeSoto. This is Kansas Information Network News.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Good morning, I'm Natalie Hadley with your KQNK News. Brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, serving all of your chemical and fertilizer needs. Drivers with a broken down or stopped car on the side of the road could be included in the state's slow down, move over law, as AAA is trying to get it passed this year in the Kansas legislature after coming up short last year with a similar bill. Kansas's current slow down, move over law covers emergency, tow, utility, and maintenance vehicles, but not stopped and disabled cars for everyday drivers. So AAA wants to change that because this has led to dangerous and deadly consequences. The bill would require drivers to move over a lane or, if that's not possible, slow down when passing a stopped or disabled car with their hazards or warning signals, much like with emergency vehicles. Sean Stewart with AAA Kansas said people stopped or disabled on the side of the road have been hit by other drivers, with state data for the last 5 years showing an average of 200 crashes involving a car on the side of the road, and that has led to 10 deaths and many others injured. Stewart did say that he thinks most drivers do heed the move-over law, regardless of what it's on the side of the road. However, they just want to codify that and make it officially part of the law for those people dealing with a stopped or disabled vehicle on the side of the road. And this is the case in 25 other states, including Colorado and Oklahoma. A violation could result in a $75 fine if it becomes law, though the bill would not apply slow down, move over laws to abandoned cars that are left on the side of the road, often marked with a tag by law enforcement. Last year, state transportation, law enforcement, and other groups supported the bill, and the Senate Transportation Committee has a hearing scheduled for Thursday in the Senate Transportation in Topeka for discussion. According to the results for the boys wrestling Newton Tournament of Champions held on January 17th and 18th, in the team scores, Garden City placed first with 202.5 points, Rose Hill placed second with 171.5 points, and Manhattan placed third with 167.5 points. Norton Community placed 14th with 89.5 points, and there were 37 teams competing. Norton's head wrestling coach, Bill Brockelman, reported that Norton traveled to Newton and competed at a very high level. He said he was very impressed with the way Norton's kids competed in one of the most competitive tournaments in the state. Norton took 8 kids, and 7 of them made it to day 2, and 5 made it to the podium. Brennan Fonenstill was Norton's highest placer, finishing 3rd after losing a barn burner in the semifinals to all-class number 2 Leck of Rose Hill. He then had a great run on the backside to win by either fall or major to finish in 3rd place, and this earned him Norton's Wrestler of the Week. Corbin Puga and Caleb Kieswetter finished 5th, with Caleb losing a close one in the consolation semis, but bouncing back well in his 5th and 6th place match to win by major decision in a loaded 106-pound bracket that included all 4 classes returning state champions and many other ranked individuals. Corbin Puga lost a tough match in the semifinals to the eventual champion and another hard-fought match against Chambers of SES, but bounced back and dominated in his 5th and 6th place match to pin Vikander of Manhattan, who is number 4 all-class. Colton Stover finished up 6th place after losing his first match and battling all the way back to the consolation semifinals and avenging a loss from a year ago. And lastly, Derek Clydesdale did the same thing as Colton, coming all the way back from losing his first match and avenging his round 1 loss in the 7th and 8th place match by fall. Coach said he was very proud of the way the kids rose to the occasion to compete with some of the best of the state, and even Norton's kids who didn't place competed very well and won some big matches. Look for the Blue Jays this Thursday at home against Colby for senior night, and then at Kearney on Friday for the Eunice Hospitality Duels. According to the results for the girls wrestlers at the Hayes Prairie Classic that was held on Saturday, January 18th, in the team scores, Norton Community High School placed first with 190.5 points, Oakley High School placed second with 152 points, and Hayes placed third with 134 points. There were 24 teams competing. Coach Brockelman reported that the girls traveled to Hayes to compete at one of the toughest tournaments this week at the Hayes Prairie Classic. As a team, they were very dominant, winning the tournament by 38.5 points. Coach said they ran both A and B brackets for some weights as they were so full, which was great for Norton's junior varsity girls as they were also able to compete with other junior varsity level girls. Norton placed 9 girls and crowned 3 champions, Kaysen Miller, Hallie Fonenstill, and Adriana Winters. Kaysen won all but her finals match by fall and defeated the number 1 class Villanova of Junction City by a score of 7-0. This earned her the Outstanding Wrestler of the Tournament and Wrestler of the Week. Hallie dominated the day, winning by either fall or tech fall in all of her matches, and Adriana Winters also won all of hers by fall, including a big win over Long of Stockton, who was ranked number 5 in 3-1A, and defeated Hahn of Ellenwood, who was number 2 in 3-1A and number 9 all-class. Cadence Greason, Isabella Garrity, and Madison Scott all finished as runner-ups. Cadence had a great run to the finals match, winning all by fall, and was up in her finals match before she got thrown to her back. Isabella followed the same path as Cadence, being very dominant and leading in the finals, but unable to seal the victory, with Coach saying both wrestled very well, and he looks for them to learn from his experience. Madison was in a B bracket this time and wrestled really well. She won her first 2 by fall and then fell short in the finals, but competed very well. Dally Braun and Sophia Kane both finished 3rd. Dally avenged a loss from the front side and from earlier in the season, and Sophia had a great battle with number 2 all-class Atavia Kane of Oakley, battling back to avenge a loss over Colby for 3rd and 4th. Kieran Atkin rounds out the last of Norton's placers as she finished 4th. She lost to the number 1 ranked wrestler in 5A and then battled back and was able to make the podium. Coach Brockelman said he's very proud of the way that Norton's girls competed and looks forward to seeing how they do this week when they host Colby in a duel for senior night on Thursday and travel to St. Francis on Saturday for the Buffalo Invitational. In Nebraska news, a Hastings man is facing several charges after allegedly abusing his partner and at least one child in his home. According to Hastings police, officers were dispatched just after midnight on Wednesday to a residence in the 700 block of East 2nd Street for a report of a domestic disturbance, where officers first made contact with a woman in the residence who had visible injuries to her face. A man in the house, identified as 38-year-old Ryan Kitchen Ingram, was questioned by authorities, and after investigators determined Ingram strangled the female victim, they placed him under arrest. Police said Ingram began resisting arrest when he learned he was being taken into custody and shouted verbal threats of harm towards the victim and at least one child in the home. Ingram was taken to the Adams County Jail and faces charges of third-degree domestic assault, assault by strangulation, terroristic threats, obstructing a peace officer, resisting arrest, child abuse, and criminal mischief. The victim declined medical attention at the scene, and no one else was injured. I'll be back with more in just a moment.
Firebolt Ag is a full-service fertilizer and chemical retailer. They customize products for individual farmers' needs, with the primary focus being customer profitability. Let Josh and Jack help you get the most out of your farm ground. They also provide in-house marketing with Ron Wall of Flatwater Solutions. Visit Ron in Phillipsburg or call Josh at 785-854-8484 or Jack at 308-840-2819. Firebolt Ag, your leader in agriculture.
According to the unofficial minutes of the Norton City Council meeting that was held on January 15th, Chief of Police Jay Sharp reported on department activities and presented an updated quote for the license plate reader cameras that were budgeted for purchase in 2025. A motion was made by Gerald Jones and seconded by Dell Jacobson to approve the quote from Flock Safety in the amount of $17,700 for 4 license plate reader cameras. The vote was taken and the motion carried. After 2 executive sessions, City Administrator James Maru presented an application for interconnection from New Age. A motion was made by Andrew Black and seconded by Jason Jones to approve New Age's application for interconnection, and the motion carried 6-0. After 2 executive sessions, Gerald reminded everyone of the public hearing scheduled at 5:45 p.m. on February 5th regarding the vacating of North Street between State Street and Kansas Street, and he stated that the Public Safety Committee meeting is scheduled for today, Tuesday, January 21st. A motion was made by Andrew Black and seconded by Dell Jacobson to waive the third formal reading of Ordinance 1772, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 15, Article 3, Sections 5 and 6, pertaining to minimum electrical rates. The motion carried, and a motion was made by Andrew Black and seconded by Dell Jacobson to adopt Ordinance 1772. The vote was taken, and the motion carried. A motion was made by Andrew Black and seconded by Dell Jacobson to waive the second formal reading of Ordinance 1773, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 15, Article 2, Sections 13 and 14 pertaining to water rates. The motion carried 6-0. Andrew then scheduled a Public Works Committee meeting for 4 p.m. on January 27th. A motion was made by Andrew Black and seconded by Jason Jones to approve the revised 2025 travel and tourism budget, and the motion carried. Jason Jones asked about the street signs that are being fixed, and James Maru stated that so far they have fixed and adjusted 6 signs. James then stated that they would like to start working on a sign replacement program. As Jason said, he noticed a couple more signs at North Jones and Holm, as well as North Archer and Holm, that are in need of repair. Jason requested the Public Safety Committee take up and consider fencing the entire impound lot property and adding more lighting. And Jason also reminded everyone of the Personnel Committee meeting scheduled on February 27th to discuss the video recording equipment and monetary compensation for being on call. A motion was made by Jim Miller and seconded by Andrew Black to approve the removal of debts from utility billing and accounts receivable and proceed with submitting the debts to the Kansas Set-Off Program and or the Collection Bureau of Kansas for collection, with the collection fee assessed as an additional cost as authorized by Ordinance 1700. The vote was taken and the motion carried 6-0. James stated city crews are scheduled to do property cleanup at 312 North Brown on January 16th and 17th, and a motion was made by Dennis Gilhausen and seconded by Andrew Black to approve appropriating Ordinance Number 2 as a whole. The motion carried 6-0. A motion was then made by Andrew Black to adjourn, and the council adjourned at 7:31 p.m. Your menu today for Eisenhower Elementary School: for lunch you'll be having spaghetti, tossed salad, peaches, garlic bread, and milk. For Norton Community High School and Junior High, your lunch today will be soft taco or chef salad with fruit and milk. And for Northern Valley Schools, your lunch today will be ham and scalloped potatoes, French bread, vegetable, and fruit. I'm Natalie Hadley. Your KQNK News was brought to you by Firebolt Ag, LLC, farmers helping farmers to succeed. You can contact Firebolt Ag today to get the most out of your farmland. Your KQNK weather forecast is being brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, your Norton experts for all of your pest control needs. Your forecast for today, it should be sunny with a high near 39, with wind chill values as low as minus 17 and a southwest wind of 5 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, it should be partly cloudy with a low around 19 and a southwest wind of 10 to 15 miles per hour. On Wednesday, it should be mostly sunny with a high near 39 and breezy, with wind gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. And on Wednesday night, it should be partly cloudy with a low around 14. I'll be back with the rest of your forecast in just a moment.
When you got bugs, we know what a nuisance that can be.
Lock 'em out. From Hinkle Termite and Pest Control, Lock 'em Out is our very effective residential insect prevention program. We'll come to your place and treat your foundation plus all insect entryways. And while we're there, receive a free termite inspection. Call Mr. Rich Wenzel, our certified technician in Norton, at 785-202-0167. That's 202-0167.
Continue with the rest of your weather forecast. On Thursday, it should be partly sunny with a high near 33. On Friday, sunny with a high near 49. On Saturday, mostly cloudy with a high near 35. On Sunday, partly sunny with a high near 32. And on Monday, should be sunny with a high near 38. Currently, with fair skies, it is minus 8 degrees. The humidity is 77%. The wind speed is south at 7 miles per hour. The barometric pressure is 30.38. The dew point is minus 13 degrees, and the current wind chill is minus 23 degrees. Your weather was brought to you by Hinkle Termite and Pest Control right here in Norton. You can call Hinkle Termite and Pest Control at 785-202-0167 for all of your pest control needs. It is 8:22, and now it's time for Kansas Sports. That's being brought to you by United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything they do for you.
Save more, earn more with the Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union. Enrollment in this program automatically rounds up the amount of all debit card and share draft purchases made from your checking account to the next whole dollar and deposits into the Easy Saver savings account. Not only will this account help you save, but it also earns 2.01% APY monthly. Special terms and conditions apply. Come in today and open your Easy Saver account at the United Northwest Federal Credit Union, where everything we do for you. NCUA insured.
KIN Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis. Number 9, Kansas knocked off Kansas State 84-74 Saturday afternoon in the Sunflower Showdown in Lawrence. It's part 1. They will meet later on this season for part 2 in Manhattan. KU took a 39-29 lead in the halftime. Both teams scored 45 apiece in the second half. Leading the way for KU was Hunter Dickinson with 25 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Zeke Mayo scored 24 points, had 5 rebounds. DeJuan Harris had 15, 5 and 5. The team was without KJ Adams, who was missing time due to separated shoulder. K-State was led by Coleman Hawkins' double-double of 15 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. Max Jones scored 11, and David Gasson scored 13. KU shot 54.4% from the field to K-State's 45.8%. The Jayhawks are now 4-2 in the conference, while the Wildcats fell to 1-5. KU travels to TCU for a 6 p.m. contest Wednesday, and K-State takes on Baylor in Waco Wednesday at 8 p.m. Kansas Information Network Sports, I'm Spencer Dupuis.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex. How did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Philip Eisenhagen. Together we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office at 418 East Holm here in Norton or call 877-3373. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.